This is the case of O.J. versus the people. On June 12, 1994, O.J. was convicted of murder of Nicole Simpson and Ronald Goldman. Marcia Clark was the lead prosecutor with her partner, Christopher Darden, to prove that O.J. Simpson was guilty.
In the opening statement, Darden argued that Simpson killed his ex-wife in a jealous rage. The prosecution opened its case by playing a 911 call from Nicole Brown Simpson on January 1st, 1989, in which she expressed fear that Simpson would physically harm her, and he could be heard yelling at her in the background. Other material related to domestic violence was presented. The prosecution also presented dozens of expert witnesses to place Simpson at the scene of the crime, on subjects ranging from DNA profiling to blood and shoe print analysis. During the opening weeks of the trial, the prosecution presented evidence that Simpson had a history of physically abusing Nicole. The prosecution put forth the image of an abusive man who had killed his ex-partner and her friend in a jealous rage, supported by O.J.'s lack of alibi for the night in question and a wealth of seemingly incriminating DNA evidence. The prosecution called the Brown sister Denise to the witness stand. She tearfully testified to many episodes of domestic violence in the 1980s when she saw Simpson pick up his wife and hurl her against a wall, then physically throw her out of their house during an argument. The prosecution then called Karen Lee Crawford, the manager of the Mezzaluna restaurant where Brown ate on the night she was murdered. Crawford recounted that Brown's mother phoned the restaurant at 9:37 p.m. about a pair of lost eyeglasses. Crawford found them and put them in a white envelope. Goldman left the restaurant at 9:50 p.m. after his shift, taking the glasses to drop them off at Brown's house.
Simpson hired a team of high-profile defense lawyers. The leader of the defensive team was Johnny Cochran.
Johnny Cochran's opening statement was that Simpson was not physically capable of carrying out the murders, saying that Goldman was a fit young man who put a fierce struggle against his assailant. Simpson was a 46-year-old former professional football player with chronic arthritis and had scars on his knees from old football injuries.
And that he loved Nicole Brown really much, even though he abused her a lot. Many forensic science evidence connected back to O.J., including hair evidence, hairs consistent with the Simpson found on his cap at Bundy residence, also found on Ron Goldman's shirt. Cotton fibers consistent with the carpet in the Bronco found on a glove at Rockingham. Fibers consistent with the carpet from the Bronco found at a cap at Bundy's residence. Blood evidence. Killer dropped blood near shoe prints at Bundy. Blood dropped at Bundy's was the same type as Simpson. About 5% of the population would match. Simpson had fresh cuts on left hand on the day after murder. Blood found in Bronco. Blood found in foyer and master bedroom of Simpson's home. Blood found in Simpson's driveway and blood on socks in O.J.'s home matched Nicole's. Glove evidence. Left glove found at Bundy and right glove found at Simpson's residence are Aries light gloves, size extra large. Nicole Brown bought a pair of Aries light extra large gloves in 1990 at Bloomingdale. Simpson wore Aries light gloves from 1990 to June 1994. The gloves contained particles of hair consistent with Goldman's, and cap contained carpet fibers consistent with fibers from Simpson's Bronco. The bloody shoe prints at the crime scene were identified by FBI shoe expert William Boziak as having been made by a pair of extremely rare and expensive Bruno Maglis shoes. Only 29 pairs of this style were sold in the U.S. The large size, 12 305 millimeters, matched Prince Simpson's shoe size. In the trial, Simpson's defense attorney said that the prosecution had no proof Simpson had ever bought such shoes, but the freelance photographer E.J. Flammer claimed to have found a photograph he had taken at Simpson in 1993 that appeared to show him wearing a pair of shoes at a public event. At the crime scene, O.J. Simpson's blood and hair strands were found on the sock at the crime scene. The defense claimed that much of the incriminating evidence, bloody gloves, bloody socks, blood in and on the Bronco, was discovered by LAPD detective Mark Furman. He was later charged with perjury for falsely claiming during the trial that he never used the N-word within 10 years of the trial. Later during the trial, with the jury absent, he invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination when asked, "Do you plant or manufacture any evidence in this case?" Evidence collected by LAPD criminalist Dennis Fung was criticized by the defense. He admitted to having missed a few drops of blood on the fence near the bodies on the stand and said that he returned several weeks after to collect them. Funk also admitted that he had not used rubber gloves when collecting some of the evidence. Another problem was one of the cops took one of the evidence home before taking it to get examined. When the prosecutors wanted OJ to try the gloves on, it turns out the glove did not fit. Johnny Crockett's favorite quote was, "If it does not fit, you must acquit." On October 5th, 1995, OJ was not convicted of murder of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown. I think that the prosecutors made a big mistake during the crime scene of not taking the evidence right away to be examined and not using gloves. And the big thing was the defense used a race card and calling one of the LAPD's people that collected the evidence a racist. So that really got the jury on their side. That's why he was convicted of not murdering Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman.